Hey guys, I hope you're well this afternoon. So today I'm here with Kahuria again. Kahuria is an author, is a financial consultant, entrepreneurship consultant, among other things that he will tell us. So today we're talking about money. I am the worst when it comes to spending money. Pesa yangu inakuanga na mabawa. I know how to make money, I know how to seize opportunities, I really know how to make money, but I don't know how to keep money. Right now I have money, this minute I have money, the next minute I don't have money. Let's talk about money. Karibu sana.
Thanks so much, Muthoni, for having me today. I'm excited once again to be here and also about the topic. I know it is not a very interesting topic, but also interesting at the same time.
Yes.
Sisi wote tumechapwa vita na pesa, including myself, and therefore I feel this is a very important discussion. And like a consultant in financial management, I believe the information we share today will benefit somebody. Our goal is to ensure that we touch a life somewhere. Somebody will be touched by what we are saying today, and will be able to make sound financial decisions. So that's why we are here today, and ready to for this discussion.
Okay. What do we need to do to manage our finances better? Like, what are the principles of financial management?
Principles of financial management. Number one, spend less than you earn. The most basic principle.
Why do we spend more?
Let me tell you, and this is an interesting story. When I was in campus, there was a saying we used to say that when I grow up, I want to have one wife, 2 children, a 3-bedroom house, and drive a 4-wheel.
Yeah.
We used to call it the 1, 2, 3, 4 dream. And most people are in that situation where when you are growing up, you have dreams. You always dream that I'll become this kind of a person, and I'm going to live this kind of a life. So what happens? The moment we start getting money, we immediately start putting money into our dreams. So if you have always wanted to have a big screen, like many of us when we graduated from campus and started working, the first thing we thought about is how to have a big screen in the house. And some of us were analog, we have later discarded them to buy digital. We thought of having a booming music system in the house. Some of us were excited to drive Subarus, and we have driven them.
Yeah, the noisy ones.
Yes, the noisy ones. When you have that turbo and you are passing and everyone has to take note. Those are things we dreamed.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we end up putting all our money in our dreams. And I want to explain for you things we call baskets, money baskets. You are supposed to have 4 money baskets. The first basket, you call it your expenses. That is when you earn money, some of which you go to your expenses basket. The next basket is your savings basket. And the other one is your investment basket. For those people who are Christians and all that, there are people who have another basket for offerings, tithes, and maybe donations.
That's the 4th basket.
The 4th basket. But let's forget the 4th basket for now and talk about the first 3. Expenditure, savings, investment. Instead of having those 3, people have only one basket, known as the dream basket. So all your money comes there.
It's not even in your baskets, among your baskets.
It is not even among, it's not some of the, dream is not one of the baskets you should have. By the time you start using your money to meet your dreams, you're supposed to be very financially stable. That is not where you begin. And this is a lesson most people learn the hard way, especially young people who are getting into careers, who are getting into business. Most people learn this the hard way. They start putting all their money into their dreams. And you realize somebody looks very young and very successful. Then within no time, they have fallen, they started going back, and they look even worse than when they started. So instead of the dreams, put your dreams aside, keep them in mind, don't forget them. But first of all, divide your money. So it means, there's something I call the money formula. If you earn X amount of money, you should divide it into E, which is expenses, plus S, which is savings, plus I, which is investment. This is, why do we save? We save to secure our future. Because if we don't save, a rainy day is coming when you don't have. So that's why you save. And you're supposed to ensure, sometimes people ask me how much should I save and out of how much I earn. Some people argue that My income is too small, how do I save? And this is the wisdom I share with people. Don't look at money as a figure, like 10,000, 20,000, 50, because you always say it is not enough. Because anytime you look at money as a figure, and you have 100,000, there is somebody who is earning 200. If yours is 1 million, another person is earning 2 million.
Yes.
So the figure will never make sense, and you always feel that you want the bigger figure. But look at your money in terms of ratios or percentages. Ask yourself, what percentage of my income will I spend?
Your money is 100%.
Yes, it's 100%.
Yes.
What percentage will I spend?
Yeah.
What percentage will I save? And what percentage will I invest? Investment is for purposes of building wealth. Saving is for purposes of securing your future. So the money you save, you put in the savings basket is for a rainy day. Suppose I lose my job after working for 3 years. Can I sustain myself for at least 1 year? That is why you have a savings basket. The investments basket is for building wealth. And that is why a wealthy person is not that person who is having a lot of money. A wealthy person is that person who has learned the wisdom of spending less than they earn. So they put some money in their savings and some money in their investment. And there are people who start with investing as low as 1,000, 5,000. But in a span of 5 years is not a very long time. In a span of 5 years, that person has a big solid investment. But if you always imagine, because sometimes we think, this year let me just treat myself, then next year I will invest.
Let me go on holiday.
Yes, let me go on
That
holiday.
is what
We argue, why are we earning money if we can't spend it?
I know we are dying.
Yes.
Watu wakigawana wealth yao.
Yes, and
you
people
have
even
to-
argue, so and so had a lot of money, he died at a young age. Why should I keep money only to leave it here? And I say, why are you so much worried about what will happen when you're out of this world? Why can't you worry about what might happen when you're here?
Okay.
Because sometimes we get so much absorbed into the fear of the unknown. Forget about the time you die or how many years you live, but ask yourself, if I live for the next 5 years, is that going to be a quality life? Am I going to be somebody who will do something noticeable and leave an impact in this world?
Okay.
Will I be somebody worth emulating in terms of how I live my life, including how I spend my money? People who will look at me, are they learning how to be responsible with money?
Yeah.
Or am I setting a bad example for them? And-
So, yes,
Mhm.
I continue.
Yeah, so basically for you to, and number 2 is to have a budget. I was saying about spending less than you earn.
Now, I wanted to ask you a question before we go on.
Yes,
So hii X ndio mshahara.
yes,
Sometimes mshahara inaendanga yote kwa expenses.
yes,
Hauna kitu ya hizi basket zingine mbili.
yes. Do you know what we call that? Instead of people living within their means, that is spending what you earn, we have gotten into the habit of spending all we earn plus all we can borrow. Sometimes you don't just spend what you earn. You even borrow to meet the deficit.
By the time mshahara inakuja already uko na deni. Sasa
Yes.
unaanza kulipa hiyo deni alafu sasa expensive.
So sound financial management is ensuring that you're always operating with a surplus, however small it is. The moment you start operating the deficit, I'm going to give you another example of how people get themselves trapped. Somebody earns 50,000, but they are living a lifestyle worth 60,000. Maybe they are paying a house rent of 20, they spend so much on food expenses, and maybe weekend they go out for happy and all that. So the lifestyle they are living is maybe 60,000. So how would that person meet their lifestyle of 60,000? So the first month they would borrow 10,000 from somewhere. So they had a deficit of 10. Instead of working around their money to ensure there is no deficit, they entertained a deficit and borrowed to cover the deficit. What will happen in the second month? In the second month, this person's lifestyle is still 60,000. Their income is 50,000, but they have 10,000 to pay where they borrowed. So now they have a deficit of 20,000. So they will borrow 20,000 to cover this deficit of their lifestyle. That month, they will need to borrow 30. Until a time when they will actually need to borrow exactly how much they earn. So all their money will be going to service debts.
What is that person supposed to do? What can you recommend to such a person?
I would recommend somebody to plan for your money as opposed to setting a lifestyle. Define the lifestyle based on what you earn.
So uhamie nyumba cheaper ama ufanye
Yes,
nini?
exactly.
So unajua
Downgrade
tunataka
your
kushuka.
lifestyle. Let me tell you, it's either you downgrade your lifestyle today and grow gradually, or you will go up and you will fall. Somebody said, you better start living in Kayole and grow towards Umoja to Buruburu and finally maybe move to Muthaiga, as opposed to starting from Muthaiga, then come to Buruburu, then to Boja, then finally end your life in Kayole. That's exactly what most people are doing. They are starting from Muthaiga, ending in Kayole. Another person who is wiser starts in Kayole, ends in Muthaiga. And that is a basic wisdom of financial management. So if you are earning 50,000, always ensure that you plan for a lifestyle of less than 50,000. That is what we mean with sound financial management. If you have to move from where you are living today to go to a cheaper house, if you have, and you know, sometimes it is just about planning well. We say this is how we define financial management. It means planning, organizing, directing, and controlling your money. And the word controlling is very important. Being in control. Do not let money control you.
Yeah, you have to control it.
Yes, because money excites people.
Yes.
And you know, people think that when you mention a certain figure of money, it sounds like a lot of money. Like when you mention a million, people think it is a lot of money. But I can assure you, Muthoni, if you had 1 million today and you start spending it, you will not realize when it is ending.
Yeah, what is it, Lala?
Itaisha immediately.
Mmoja wetu tu ndiye anaweza lala uhai.
Money will not be. By the way, money in economics, money is an economic resource.
Yes.
An economic resource by definition are supposed to be scarce. They are scarce.
Yes.
Money is a scarce resource.
Because it is never enough.
Yeah, so if it is a scarce resource, it has to be managed responsibly for it to be enough. Otherwise, it will never be enough.
Yeah. So you are talking about principles.
Yes. Principles of
financial
management. We said, first of all, spend less than you earn. Number two, have a budget. And that's where I was headed to. Have a budget. So if you're earning 50,000, write it down. And a budget is not in the head. I don't know where people got this idea of mental sums. We call them mental sums. You know your budget. Sit down and write how much do I pay rent, how much do I pay for food, how much do I pay for transport. If you find that after you've written your rent and your food, your transport, the money is over, start reducing maybe on your rent. And by the way, let me tell you, rent is one of the most important things to define very well.
Nairobi tunatafuta tu rent.
Yes, but you know what we do? I'm saying we are more pushed by a desire to live a certain lifestyle than the desire to be stable, financially stable, both now and in the future.
Yes.
So when I come to Nairobi, I don't want to start from Kibra or from Mathare or from whatever. Because I feel that is not me. That is not the kind of life I want to live. So, afadhali ning'ang'ane niishi umoja.
Unataki watu wakuone Kibera.
Nisiambianga watu ili uishi umoja, kuliko kuambia mtu mimi uishi Mathare. Because when I tell people ninaishi Mathare, people associate me with a certain class. When I tell them I live in Buruburu, they associate me with that. And I personally find myself in that kind of a trap. Where I want to live in a good house, but I know I'm struggling to pay it. Yes, I know I'm struggling to pay it, but I still think I can. You know, we operate by faith. You know, we say we move by faith and not by sight. So you know very well that your lifestyle is worth 100,000, your income is 50, but you believe, unaamini pesa Mungu atatengeneza njia. Na pesa, mambo ya pesa, sisemi watu wasiamini, but money is one of the things that operates with reality. Amini all what you want to believe all that you want to believe. But money always comes down to reality. How much do you earn and how worth is your lifestyle? So have a budget. Write down the items.
Yes.
And number three, don't get into the temptation of upgrading your lifestyle every time you have an extra income. What is the impasse that comes to our minds? If I was earning 50 and now I'm earning 70, I think I can move to a better house. That is always what comes to our mind. Instead of asking ourselves, if I've been earning 50 and I can stay here, suppose I still stay here, I will save some money. At least 20 I can save. And that is how you start building wealth. So, but when you're always pushed, and somebody gave an illustration of somebody who, maybe somebody who is a hawker. When you are a hawker and you have come to Nairobi, you are a pure hustler. And you cannot even afford fare to work. So most utapata somebody is staying somewhere in a slum where they are paying a rent of maybe 2,000 to 3,000. Then they walk to work. Anabeba mali yake to work. Jioni anatembea back home. Then that person, because they are very hardworking, they start making some money. Now, what is the first thing they do when they start making some money?
So unatoka ghetto.
Unatoka ghetto. You move to a better standard of life, which in your own definition. So the extra money you have made, you have agreed to put all of it to expenses. Then, huyo mtu sasa when he makes some more money anasema mimi nimekuwa nikitembea sana. Sasa anaanza anaingia matatu. Anasema for now, I'll be going to work in a mat. Hata mimi nipate comfort. Nikikaa kwa mat, nimeshika mali yangu, going to work. So then with the time, wanapata kibanda sasa. They have money to rent a kibanda. Initially they could not. And because of that kibanda, they start making again more money. And now, they move from where they are staying. They already moved from ghetto to a better house. They move to another better house. Na sasa huyu mtu anaanza kusema labda hata anaweza kununua baiskeli kwenda kazi. And I have come to realize most people, even who have very big businesses, you see somebody driving a good car and having a good business. You imagine they have money. Most of those people, their cash flow is very poor.
Yeah.
If you are if they have an emergency, like somebody is hospitalized, they can't even afford to pay for that hospital bill. Yet maybe their business is having millions because all the money they make ends up getting swallowed in their lifestyle. So somebody has to now start living in a big house because you feel now you are class up in the banda, you want to live in a big house. Responsibilities start coming in, and the more the responsibilities you have children, the more the expenses. So at the end of the day, you get to something that is known as a rat race, always making money and eating all of it. You will never settle. And now, God forbid that one day that source of income is affected, like it has happened during this time of COVID. Somebody you thought was doing very well ends up now becoming a beggar. No, it's calling everyone left, right, and center. Said me something. Yet you have always imagined that this person is doing well. And it is unfortunate that a lot of people who seem to be doing well financially is just a ticking time bomb, waiting to explode any time. And what people can do to save themselves from this is to simply live on this basic wisdom of spending less than you earn, budget. Don't be tempted to always finance a lifestyle. Sometimes accept to live a lower class of life than you have wanted until you are stable enough. And that maybe brings up the issue of financial stability because this is a question people ask.
So the principles are only 3?
How many have we said? We have said
living within your means?
Below your within your means, or spend less than you earn.
Budget.
A budget. Avoid temptation to always fund your lifestyle. And number 2, and the other one is
Number 4.
Yes, have multiple sources of income. Very important. There is no one single source of income that is 100% secure. Even those people who say they are in permanent impressionable jobs. In the Moi era, we saw people being retrenched in government. And something can happen, and we've even seen people being implicated in things they didn't ever fired. Or you can even suffer a disability that makes it impossible for you to work. So never imagine that you are at any one time 100% stable if you have one source of income. In fact, one sure way to never living in financial independence is having one source of income. So you should have multiple sources of income so that when one is down, then one is up. There is a verse in the Bible that says that you should sow your seed in the morning and sow also in the evening because we don't know which one will do, whether it is this or that. Or
yes. Okay.
So it is important to have multiple sources of income to cushion yourself because we have said life is a series of up and downs. And somebody made fun that some people would rather get hired as lift operators because their life is a series of ups and downs, always going up and down.
Lift operator.
Yeah, you should just become a lift operator because you're always going up and down. And that is what happens when you have one source of income.
Yes.
One time you are up, the other time you are down. But you can save yourself by starting to divest. And everyone who is employed, and this is very important, you need to start preparing yourself for that day that you don't have a job. Start investing. Start doing a small business and grow it gradually until it is strong enough to employ you. Never get comfortable. So, multiple sources of income, do not get comfortable in one source of income just because it is giving you enough money today. You are not secure if that is the case. And I think for this is a discussion we can continue expanding. including showing people different options.
Yes, the different options of businesses.
Yes.
And why businesses fail.
Yes, yes. And even more and more principles of financial management.
Even debt management.
Yeah, debt management is a whole topic.
Yeah.
But I can add it as number 5, which is anchor to number 1. Avoid getting in
Chris, I
debt.
want you to face the camera.
So,
yes.
Avoid getting in debt.
Avoid getting. But you know, like we know, where's contribution and loan?
Yes. When we get to that topic, you will see that there is what we call good debt and bad debt.
All right. So
bad debt, if we can define it here, is any debt. Anytime you are borrowing money for expense to spend, you are borrowing money to eat, borrowing money to pay your rent, and you are just borrowing money for your lifestyle. That is bad debt because it is money with no return, and it is eating not just in your money for today. In fact, people should know that anytime you borrow money, you have not eaten into your money for today, you have eaten into your money for tomorrow. Because you borrow against an unexpected income in future.
Yes, because it's money you don't have.
Yes, and I was trying to illustrate to you how somebody can easily get into a hole by just spending more than they earn. Because you keep borrowing to fund your deficit until you get to a point you cannot borrow anymore and all your income is servicing debt. And you don't have any other income. That is a trap, and it is a very big trap that many people find themselves in.
Okay.
Yes.
At what point can we say someone is financially stable? Because we're also looking for financially stable men and women.
Yes. You are financially stable, one, if you have savings that can sustain you for some time when you don't have an income. That is one sign of financial stability. For instance, if you are employed and you have saved money that can sustain you for 1 year or 2 years, or let's say 6 months, let's say 1 year, 2 years without a job, then you can start to be financially stable. You are also financially stable if you have multiple sources of income. We have said there is no one source of income that is 100% secure. So as long as your source of income is one, you are not financially stable. However much money you will be earning today, you are also financially stable if you are not in bad debt. Because bad debt will cripple you, and even the Bible says that a borrower is always a slave to the lender. You can't be financially stable if you are in bad debt. And if you look at people who are very wealthy and you look at the kind of debt they have, their debts into assets. Somebody has purchased a plot, somebody has built a building, assets that can be liquidated when this person is in financial stress. But anytime you are getting into debts that are not financing assets, that's encouraged bad debt. So you are financially unstable if you are in that kind of debt, and you're also financially unstable if you're not doing anything to improve your future income. Either if you are employed and you are not doing anything to grow your employment income, and I would discourage people from thinking that you can get financially stable in employment. That is a fallacy. That's why I say it is a fallacy, because you have assumed that job is 100% secure. There are people who are paid very good money in their employment, but the moment they are employed, we've seen cases where somebody is fired today and even tomorrow they cannot eat, or next month they cannot eat. So you can't claim to be financially stable if employment is your only source of income. You need multiple sources of income.
How can you stop living from hand to mouth? Because we're here saying hand to mouth, hand to mouth.
Accept the reality. If your money is 50,000, live within your means. And know that, I normally say, we are all on a journey at different stages in that journey. Sometimes we want to compare ourselves with others. Maybe with our siblings, maybe you have a sibling who is living very well, you are trying to compete with them, you have a friend, a classmate, or people around you. Always accept your reality, so that you can always budget for money within what you earn. This thing of living hand to mouth is sometimes artificial. It is something we have created ourselves. There are people who live from hand to mouth, yet they earn money that others are using to live a good life. So make sure that you have a lifestyle that you can afford. Think about the most important things first and start with them, then grow gradually. Yes.
As we wind up, what's the most important lesson we need to know about money?
The most important lesson about money.
Oma, what is it we don't understand really about money?
You started by saying that money has wings.
Yangu iko na mabawa. I know how to make money. I know, but I don't know how to keep money.
Yes.
I spend all of it.
I will illustrate it with a a situation we have in the Bible, and I think I had alluded to that when we were starting, that life has enough ups and downs, and they are always equal. In the Bible, we have a case where in Egypt, where there were 7 years of plenty harvest and 7 years of drought. 7 years of plenty harvest and 7 years of drought. And if you worry not for the fact that Joseph was able to interpret Pharaoh's dream, that nation would literally have perished. Because you can imagine people having 7 years without food. But the basic wisdom of one man saved a nation and an entire world from starvation. Because he showed them how to deal with their times of plenty by ensuring that you set aside something, because a time of scarcity is coming. So the most important lesson in financial management is to ensure that you always set some money aside. Don't spend all your money. Don't spend all you earn. Set some money aside. There is nothing wrong if a bad time never comes, because that money is still yours. One day you can find yourself with wealth and you can enjoy the kind of lifestyle you want. But always bear in mind that anything can happen in this world, and we are living in a times where we don't even have an idea what might happen tomorrow. Before COVID came, no one even had an idea.
Yes.
But it came, and we are living with it. And some people have lived comfortably during this time of COVID. Others, it has been a very big struggle.
Yeah.
And it is just because sometimes, not because we have never had money in the past, it is just because when we had that money, we were comfortable. So never be comfortable with money. Always set aside some money, and always try to find ways of getting more money by having more sources of income.
Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you so much. I hope he's answered most of the questions. Watu wamenrequest sana nilete mtu anaweza ongea financial management.
Yes.
Here he is. And you also do coaching and training and consultancy.
Yes.
So in what situations should people come to you? What kind of help do you offer?
People who want to start a business and they want to get advice on either how to allocate their capital or how to start a business with little capital, sometimes even with virtually no capital. We give advice on those lines, how you can start a business from scratch and grow. If you feel you are struggling with your finances and you want advice, we are there always to help you, showing you how that money you think is enough can be enough for you. We take you through a process of realigning your priorities. If you need any kind of business advice, and especially young entrepreneurs, because you realize most of these big entrepreneurs always have their way, because maybe some of them have the skills, some of them are able to hire the right talents to work on their business. But there are those people who are literally running their businesses, and you feel you are stuck, you want to know how to run your business successfully. You are struggling with any issues, whether it is issues of taxation and all that, how to handle them in your business. Others is advice that people can contact me about, and I'll be very ready. If you want to run an online business, I have done a lot of consultancy on people running online businesses. If you feel stuck, you want to know how to manage your online business, I'll be there willing to help you in that. And if you literally don't know where to start, and you want just somebody to give you an insight, always we are ready for that.
Yes, thank you so much. I will put your contact down here. Please, if you have issues with money, if you are looking to start making money, if you've made bad decisions with money, like now, hey, mimi zile bashida niko nazo. Like, I'm not alone, because I was even talking about the same thing with my friends. They go through the same thing. You know how to make money, but you don't keep enough.
Yes.
Yeah. So also we'll talk about debt management, managing your salary, everything else about how to start a viable business, and how to know if your business will be sustainable a year, 2 years, 3 years.
Yes.
So thank you, Chris.
Yeah, thanks so much for that.
All right. Thank you so much for watching, and let's meet down at the comment section. Please let me know what you want Chris to talk about next. What topics, what really is bothering you, and what we can concentrate on. Have a good evening. My name is Muthoni Mukiri. You have been watching Muthoni's Mission.